Today we have a tank. Welcome back to RC Trails, and today we have a tank. It's not an Abram, but it's a Tank 300 from Traction Hobby. For those that don't know, Traction Hobby has a 1/8 scale tank. It's massive and it's very capable. Traction Hobby has come out with one of the most detailed 1/24 scale mini crawlers out there that I've seen. First off, let's go over its great features and then we could go through and work out its weaknesses. Starting with the pros, it's a hard body, and with the hard body, there is a great amount of detail in the build. The tank comes with a full light kit that's headlights, fog lights. There's no turning signal, which I'm okay with that. There's brake lights. The tires of the Tank 300 were decent. The tread pattern on these tires is a little bulky and chunky, so I don't think I had problems with the grip, but there was other problems that didn't let the tires work. Now, I might be wrong, but this is the first 1/24 scale that I've seen that comes with an independent front suspension. Now, this is how far Traction Hobby has gone to make this the closest thing to the real deal. There is a 2-speed mode on the controller. Don't believe it's a 2-speed transmission. I believe it's just electronic. You press the button, it kind of puts it in the limp mode, and then you press it again, and then it's regular speed. So nothing too fancy, but at least they give you an option for slower speed and faster speeds. Now, this is what kind of blew my mind. Traction Hobby went all in on the details, not only on the exterior, but also an interior. They gave you a full interior, front driver passenger, rear passengers, even in the trunk. You open up the tailgate, which I'm gonna get into in a minute, and you have a full interior. You could go ahead and add some scale accessories. You could paint the interior, paint the seats, do the dash. There's so much detail inside that if you like those things, you're gonna have a blast. Now, this only goes for about $170 or $175 on AliExpress. That's where I found it. And with that price point, we have to be realistic and understand that we're not gonna get the best of both worlds in detail and performance. If you're enjoying the video, go ahead, like and subscribe, join the family, join the community, hit that notification so you could know the next time I upload. Now, moving on to the cons or the weaknesses, some of these things might be a deal breaker for others, but for me, a mad scientist, I like to take things that don't really work as good as they should and make them a little better. It is a 1/24 scale crawler, which already at that size is not very capable. But since they made it exactly how the real tank is, they gave it an IFS. Now, it's a pro for me because they make it realistic as scale as possible, but also it's a con because the IFS makes it very hard to crawl and get over obstacles, especially at that size. The motor. The description says that it's a high torque motor, but I didn't see anything that shows that this is a high torque motor. I would have to constantly reverse and give it more throttle for it to get over certain obstacles. The low speed is basically unusable unless you're on almost complete flat ground, because the first bump or the first rock you encounter, it will not make it over. You would have to put it in regular speed or second gear, which is not really a gear. I still haven't opened up the transmission to see what the gears are made of or the rear axle, but that process has been expedited because this happened. I'm not sure what the issue is. It might be the motor, might be the transmission, it might be some gears somewhere. But eventually I'll get to that and I'll be another video. I did notice something that took me by surprise because it wasn't in the description on AliExpress. Nowhere to be found was oiled shocks. Who knew? Compared to friction shocks, these are so much better. That eliminates the excess bouncing. No RC is perfect in the world, but that is the beauty of it. You go ahead and you make it your own, you make it better, and you take it crawling and you take it on the trails to see what you did to it, made it better or made it worse. If you want to go ahead and see how the tank did on the trails, check out this video. Until then, see you on the next one. Is it really a tank? Is it really a tank? The Tank 300. The Tank 300.